do and dip until you faceplant. If you want statistics, I can spit 'em up like Rain Man. Now your argument has 0 arms and legs like Rayman. Now we're touring 2019 like it was Graceland. I dropped 50 pounds, I started dressing like a stagehand. Quarantine was born and I restored my former waistband. Now I make the trailers for our future in the wasteland. Back on my bullshit, back at my heaviest, here to grab the artifact and jam it in the edifice, force it in the orifice, absorb the sordid medicine. All the good cops are either dead or quickly jettisoned. No, I'm not a nihilist, and no, I'm not a pessimist. I'm just your average realist with a fetish for the precipice. Bend you over this abyss, I want to make you sweat a bit. I'll drop you once it registers, and know that you'll remember it. Daughters of the Revolution soon may lose their membership. Maybe through a dissolution, maybe through dismemberment. I won't be the one to choose or execute the severance, but I stand in solidarity with every tool that severs it. Every crimson pool we made of every fascist fool who watched us sacrifice our schools to fund the final crowning jewel affixed in Lockheed Martin's diadem. What's another 20 dead? Our leaders never cried for them. They're laughing in the garden, drunk and pissing on the hyacinths. The royal jubilee to praise this fascist Biden monarchy is imminent, and it would not be possible without the constant slaughtering of innocents, overseas and here at home and anywhere we find a shred of innocence. We won't stand for peace, not in the global or the inner sense. We won't let a single nation live outside our prison fence. We'll provide the bullets that defaced an honest journalist and turn around to praise ourselves for fearlessly upholding the free press and their important service. But I'll make a bet that Anthony starts blinking awfully nervous when you ask him why Assange is being jailed without a purpose. For what may be the greatest, most courageous act of journalism carried out in earnest. All to be rewarded with a slow-mo execution stretching out across a decade till they commute his sentence half an hour after he goes in the furnace. Sometimes I think the world is only turning out of spite. It's like we died a long time ago, and we're so used to being burned that when we saw the light, we all assumed that it was here to burn us. And so we fled into the shelter of a flooded circus, led to higher ground by all the clowns who own the only raft that floats above the sewage. And yes, there's plenty room, but they insist we don't deserve it. They insist the system works, they know it isn't perfect. But say we can't let great become the enemy of good, or all these rolling waves of shit we call democracy and bled out every dime for won't be worth it. But I submit this joke of an American experiment has not been worth a fraction of a damn since we birthed it. I submit that all our contributions to the planet, when subtracting our destruction and the millions we've left dead and labeled damages, would leave us with a failing grade of worthless. My apologies to any blue checks who might be listening. I'm sure that made you clutch your pearls and $1,000 purses. Did I interrupt your fantasy of healthcare exclusivity replete with fleets of Tesla hearses? Or your daily round of golf claps to pacify our broken nurses? I know my spoken word is like the scalpel of a surgeon who is working on behalf of the insurgents, but I'm just here to open up your eyes so you can see the true reality and not your censored, tailored version. So you can get your copy of my brand new manifesto. I took all my calls for violence, made it danceable, and presto, called it communism, Taylor's version. I called it Tales of the Great American High-Speed Rail Aversion. Called it How to Put a Bigot into Power, then collectively and feebly coerce him into acting like a decent person. This will be the most important vote you'll ever cast, because we have to wrestle power from the current ruling class and hand it over to the other team of smiling suited serpents. This will be the most important vote you'll ever cast. Now watch them toss it in the vat and see it melt into the surface. I came to be a prophet, but I'll settle for pariah. We filled the air with DDT and called the wind Mariah. We cheer on every victory in the war against Goliath, and we watched the model Christian Smalls and pose him with Zendaya. They are gonna milk that union drip until the very last simp takes the very last sip, and when it's all wrung dry and it's not worth shit, then they'll leave it laying right where it is. You can watch them let it all drip into the ditch. Here's the sitch. Biden will invoke the witch of January 6 as a quick fix. He'll tell you that she's here to fill your bellies with some twigs and sticks, rocks, berries, and a capital brick. Concurrently, he's finger-wagging all of the Republicans while sucking their proverbial dicks. He'll fluff them up a couple of concessions in the flick of a bick. He just needs lights and a camera and prompter, and someone to monitor the prompter who knows their shit. 'Cause Joe is gonna open the show with a few short words to be chanted by old white folks wearing old white cloaks who will march in a circle around some progressive political star who is purely a place to spit. But it's all good fun, and there's no harm done when the banks yell cut and they're calling it quits. It's all Flint water gone under the bridge, out of sight, out of mind, and dissolved in the mist. Joe will only need a flick of the wrist, and then the throat of your movement is slit. It'll sputter and gurgle and choke for a bit, bleed out in a viral clip. And as the last of its life force flows to the floor, he'll say, "That's my idea of a union drip." You see, the eyes are a glimpse of the soul, so it says a whole lot if they aren't exposed, and your message is branding you stamped on your clothes, and the media storm is wherever you go. Then you go meet Joe, and you laugh at his quips, and you shake his hand with a nice firm grip, and you cry good trouble through the loafers on your lips. Too true, that's a union drip. Who knew that the victory gift for your unionization's a DNC script? And it's nice and precise like a sniper who's trying to cripple us right where we live. The target they lead is your wallet. They seek to dismember your hands so you can't feed your family or pick up your kids. While they flatter themselves into orgasm, feigning respect for our unions, who wired our grids, who welded our ships, who died for our rights to not witness our children conscripted to 12-hour shifts in the mines from the time that they're 5, when they know damn well that the unions had thrived till they shattered their hips. Till they showed up and handed out Pinkerton slips. Now it's as simple as status and symbol and making the star of the movement so bright that the movement itself is eclipsed. Now our mouths grow dusty and dry on the promise of union drips that might trickle down out of a wealthy fist that is squeezing the heart of the working class hard as it can till it finally ruptures and splits, punctures a valve, and it laughs at the sound of the squish. The way that they laugh at the sight of us making a wage slave wish to a man on the cover of Vanity Fair saying, "Eat the rich." So this is for those who rely on commissions or toil for tips, watching their bosses drink bottles of profits while all you get offered are jugs of their piss. If you seek out the soul of the movement or proof that the movement exists, try looking in the eyes of Chris. And when you find that you can't, the answer is as simple as this. The movement is never one single face, and a drip is a leak to repair or replace. We will not eat the rich to suit expensive taste. We'll consume 'cause survival's at stake. Legend says that Hercules swept Cerberus right off his feet and effortlessly set him down softly as a songbird. Atlas kept the world upon his back and every day wondered whether he could stand it any longer. And Tara Reid came out to say the man they tried to label the messiah of morality was really just another rapist. And I don't intend to hesitate when asked who was the stronger. Tara, like Assange, knew that carrying the truth would be the hardest labor. Tara knew that her assailant wasn't gonna make us any safer, and knew he's just the type of man to hand a decent foreign leader US printed walking papers, and knew he'd be relentless and aggressive in the war he'd wage upon her very character, that his attempts to weaken and degrade and embarrass her would be her only compensation. But I strongly doubt that anyone could ever have foreseen the stream of hate that came from quote-unquote progressives and the self-styled titans of survivor advocation.
So if you really think there's something to be gained out of sharing your pain with the world, you are sorely mistaken. The Biden team just dragged their feet addressing Tara's allegations. Until they had a decent list of smears, then they aired them out on every station. And it turns out no one wants to hear the truth of who they praised as being worthy of such bloated liberal celebration. That no one wants to really know the person they've so valiantly defended, even when it meant they had to gloat and shit all over someone braver than they'd be if given the occasion. Now cue the faceless comment squad invasion. Cue those fuckers crawling out the woodwork to come analyze the way you wore your hair and what you wear. Like your appearance waives your rights, or that somehow you're the reason for your situation. Somehow they've decided you should bear responsibility for what such monstrous men insist on doing. Somehow they're deluded by the empty, hypocritical, and useless fucking platitudes that bastard keeps on spewing. And I think it's very telling that the best of their excuses when they try to come and justify our president's abuses is a hearty butt Trump. In which case I'll remind you that you never saw the news attempt to sell us Donald Trump like he was morally upstanding or a decent human. But when Joe says something bigoted or ogles someone's little kid, CNN says, isn't this refreshing? Biden's like a mix of JFK and FDR with all the finer parts of Harry Truman. Christ, I know that they don't think that we're the brightest, but at least pretend we got a couple lumens. Ask yourself if you have ever questioned what they fed you, or do you just shut your eyes and then consume it? And now ask yourself if you ate every one of Biden's lies under guise of harm reduction and the promise of a slight improvement. And now imagine long ago that Biden chose to show you who he really was by traumatizing you for his amusement. Now imagine that you watched him touch a Bible with those filthy hands, and then assume the power of the highest seat in all the land, of knowing your attacker wields a global coalition born of 3-letter agencies who'll make a life's mission out of trying to discredit you through lies, damn lies, and collusion. Big tech is never gonna separate from our surveillance state. Fuck's sakes, they're just a breath away from total fusion. So there will come a time where even if you see the light, your voice will never reach the sky through all the bots and all the noise pollution. So trust us when we tell you that the masking of abuses is perhaps this country's oldest institution. And I know nothing nobler than facing it in honor of the truth when you know that the people holding power have been neutralizing truth since there was wet ink on the Constitution. So know that Tara's truth is something crucial to the movement. And if you see yourself a partner to the revolution, help this country see through all the baseless propaganda through the crux of Joe's illusions. And recognize that Tara Reade gave everything she had so she could tell us what the truth is. Recognize the decent thing to do when someone bears their soul and shows their bruises is not to ask for context or offer up your own solutions. Your job is just to listen with an honest mind and put yourself on Tara's side a moment so you understand the path she chooses. That there is no instant fame worth the dragging of your name. And if that's what you think, you've a lot to learn about the kind of facts the mob can handle and the kind that it refuses. You've a lot to learn about the news and all its many uses. Guess you've yet to learn the truth the news will serve as fruit from which they've squeezed out all the juices. And we all eat the husk and just pretend it's full of nutrients and isn't really useless. But the jaws of our ability to yield accountability are absolutely toothless. So don't you kid yourself that any lips are being loosened. They won't ever tell us where the bodies are or show us where the proof is. It's on you to recognize the lechery our president so regularly oozes. It's on you to muster up some honesty and ask yourself how Biden won your trust, but it's America that loses. Open up your eyes and learn to recognize the bruises. Open up your eyes and learn to recognize the bruises.
All right, I'm gonna let him go. Oh, oh, we missed it. I peeked out.
Oh, good evening.
Everybody,
welcome to episode 32 of Flesh Faps.
oh, we have a new show name, folks.
We have fun here.
Oh, it's called Flesh Fab. Oh no! Now I just made it spit it out. That's it.
Oh, we're good.
Or
Okay.
is it Flesh Faps with a Z?
Fresh Faps.
Okay. I did not slow the scroll yet, Cynic, but thank you. I'm with you. I changed the rest of it, and no, I did not take out the high Cynic. Why the fuck would I? Oh well.
It feels like it's been a long time.
Well, it has. I'll tell you, it's been about 2 weeks since I've been personally live on INN at all, and that's about the longest break I can remember taking in a while since the Indie Media Awards were out, and that was a blast, and it was a lot of work, and I was kind of exhausted, need a little bit of a break after that. So, yeah, we're back, and we're doing stuff again. So. I have a show ready to do for Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. We're going to record that tomorrow night. But tonight we are going to do some more mixed bag stuff. Jesse's got a new piece he's going to unleash. I don't know what you sent me earlier because what you dropped in the Google Drive folder was
two things.
Audio file.
One thing I don't think we're going to play tonight, but I will want you to hear after. That's a just for indie. Cool. I just sent you I put a small spoken word piece in there. That's the new one that I'll do tonight.
Nice. All right, we can debut our new screen here because we have a new Jesse Shows spoken word with the screen showing view. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, so we are at the mystery box tonight. So we're like, all right, we want to do karaoke tonight. What do we want to do? So Jesse's like, should we do like a recording session for the new album? Like, fuck yes, I would. Yes, I would like to do that, but we punted and said, all right, let's do another mixed bag. So that's what we're doing.
I feel comfy as all hell. It's a combo. I was like, flannel tonight? Yes, flannel.
Very dark. So here we are. Very dark at Camp David. For wintry time. No, I mean like just your camera, your lighting in general is kind of on the dark side, but all good.
I can tweak that actually. I can shift the cloth that I have.
What's funny is
in technical terms, it's a t-shirt wedged into the drop panels in the basement ceiling in front of the lamp that I shift over ever so much to create the right type of mood. So if you want, I can shift the shirt over and let a little more light on me.
Sure,
or even
that would probably
dare I
be
say
good.
move the desk lamp in for closer.
Oh, that's even a little better.
More,
sure,
more 1800s. Like I'm getting my feather quill pen out to write a long letter about dysentery.
Now it looks like you still have long hair because in our last episode,
I still do.
I did watch. It's funny. I went and I chaptered. By the way, if you go back and you watch Dealer's Choice from the last time we did a show, it's now chaptered up so you can go right to all the songs and all the pieces. But you said something about cutting your hair off after you did your thing, so I was just wondering because
I'm still I'm close. Every day I'm getting more and more ready to just like make a change because it's just in my shit all the time. Everything I do, it's just so much. It's so heavy.
I love the firelight of Camp David. Yes, that's sweet. We did make a slight change to the ticker. Made the font a little smaller and changed some of the stuff so people can find Jesse's Bandcamp right there in the ticker now. Go to jessejett.bandcamp.com. You can download just about all of his music and spoken words, and you could get the Geiger Age, which is awesome, and I love listening to that. And And yeah, there's so many, and you can actually leave him some cash over there and buy an album
That's
as well
true.
as download it for free.
It's very true. And I love cash. I'm not going to lie.
And over at indienews.shop, you can actually pick up an American Tradition tank top that was designed by Jesse himself. So
my logos are completely, I have worn mine so much that like I'm starting to fade. I have worn the hell out of these tank tops over the last year. I love them so much. They're so comfy.
all right. So I want to get to some pieces. I don't know what you got planned for tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, let's I know I've done this song before, but we had it on the opening a few episodes back, and I was like, I haven't played that acoustic in forever. So it feels like a good one to kick things off with. If you want to bring up lyrics, we're tripping over to Inauguration Gift. Little great experiment.
I think you just did that pretty recently, but you did it as a spoken word, if I remember correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
Pass, Jesse. Never can
Couple.
trust him.
Yeah, let me see if I can bring that up quick.
This piece was one, the first time I ever got suspended, it was only a 24-hour, and I had just put this song up. I then responded to the infamous Bean Dad. My Discourse people way back will remember Bean Dad. And it was, they really got me on the like wishing ill on someone. Basically wished arthritis on him in his old age, and incontinence, but mainly arthritis. And he had to have reported me, and he was a blue check, and I was just a little guy, and that was all it took. But when I first saw the notice, it was like, "Hey, you're getting a suspension." I thought for sure it was the song. I thought absolutely it's got to be the song. And it wasn't. And I was a little disappointed, if we're being honest.
Okay, I have got this ready. So here we go. Check it out. Jesse reading lyrics. Ah! Oh, that looks so good.
Ooh la la. Look at that.
Read my lips. Brand new taxes, starving all the billionaires and neutering their Visa Maxes. Topple Congress off their axis, mobilize the homeless, give them axes, call it praxis. Chop a couple limbs off the legislative branches. We'll show you the difference between air as a human right and guaranteed oxygen access. Octogenarians who barely know what day it is are calling countless citizens while sitting on a dais made of ignorance that was built on the graves of the slaves made to labor for its self-declared significance, and all to build a Congress full of millionaires who make their fortunes insider trading while they shit on all the indigent. So I got a bone to pick with our leaders, and I'll start with the ligaments. I'll pick right through the muscle, dig the marrow out, and serve it to the unhoused millions living in their minivans or watching their belongings get evicted out their tenement. I have a dream where we breach the walls of Congress and just let them in. And what happens next will survive in only text, because there won't be any evidence. There will only be that heavy kind of feeling that pervades a space where there has been a reckoning and you can feel its remnants. And let any man who enters seeking power know that those who came before him suffocated on their eminence. That there once was a seal on the wall, but we quartered it and scattered all the pieces that it might prevent its semblance. And so we end the great experiment. We'll take all your billions, leave you 2 coins for the ferryman. Leave you drifting on a Dutchman floating derelict among the wretched seraphim. For holy is the hand that wiped the land clean of those who pose as gentlemen. That's my time, honey. Cue the thunderclap and strike the theremin. And so we end the great experiment.
It feels weird to not end a song and say, and that's the great experiment. And when I try not to, I just have to all the more.
And that's the great experiment. Well, it's just, and you know what? It just makes it so much easier to clip when I'm clipping the songs.
I was about to say, there you go. See, I'm thinking about post production. That's where my head's at.
It really is. You know,
I'm a company man, Indy. I can't.
Seriously, he's just a fucking pro. Everybody, straight up pro. You know,
consummate profesh.
And again, I want to hear that like the little lead guitar that goes with that felt like it was missing with the rhythm. I know. I remember you played that the other night or a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, I know that sound.
There you go. Let's do a little spoken word. Let's jump to and then the sky slam shut.
Nice.
We got to get serious for a minute. Honestly, it feels weird to even do a normal show with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
But I did both of my my Palestine pieces in the last couple episodes. I don't want to just sit here and keep doing those over and over. But then the more I look around, then I see plenty of pieces that say it without saying it. Sadly, any of my stuff that was in reference to Ukraine fits right in when you're talking about propagandizing people and getting them on board for the latest thing, you know. And this
support
felt like
the current thing.
The Eyes of the Sun on and then the sky slammed shut.
I'm there. Okay.
This was one of those, you know, it's easy sometimes to just let it go with some people and know you're not going to get through to them. You can lead them to water, but they'll never drink. But when it's someone you really care about, it's harder to let that go. And this, unfortunately, this piece is super applicable to Israel Palestine as well. But yeah, this piece came out of that. This is just a piece about family and propaganda. This is called The Eyes of the Sun. It isn't rare for me to witness one of propaganda's victims spitting back the facts they're given. And I've learned it's better not to listen, lest I find myself compelled to try and help them grasp the greater picture. I walk away contented not to bother, but that's harder when the victim is your father. When it's a man who saw beyond the feeble reasons we were offered to go and occupy Iraq till after 20 years of slaughter, the democracy we came to spread does not extend a centimeter farther than the army bases stocked with our marauders. This isn't foreign land, but Dad, I beg you, please don't drink the water. Please don't view the news as something other than a transcript of the sheriff's office blotter. There aren't any officers worth half their salt. I can't recall a decent cop. The brush with which I paint is something broader. The brush with which I paint conveys the shade of beaten daughters, of officers who traffic children shielded by the guise of honor, shielded by a culture that uplifts them to such high regard it overlooks the powder mark that always was their calling card. Now we're told to fall apart at Biden's feet and make a plea that he can find it somewhere in his hollow heart to call off all his oligarchs and LEOs in army garb with army tanks and lethal arms and carve a path to peace between these monumental prison bars. It isn't hard to listen to the rabble spout the script. They memorized it from the instant it departed Clinton's lips. But once you're standing stunned and hearing State Department clips from a voice that taught you right from wrong, you're loath to come to grips. You'll start slowing to a crawl until you're low enough to limp. You'll be pulled between just holding back or giving Dad a glimpse of every hospital they bombed or each civilian that they hit and posed to take a couple pictures and say, look what Russia did. We're cooking all the history books from now until Berlin, but we're not the fucking heroes here. We're Nazis counting limbs. We lied about Gaddafi and Saddam and Ho Chi Minh. We're the Fourth Reich, shining little city on a hill of sins. We got a taste for war and ain't been civil since. We will show up at your doors and you will let us in. We will colonize your pores, commodify your skin, and you'll consent to this and more if you're not vigilant, or Jesus, even outright militant. How many citizens could hope to glimpse the light again if they signed on the dotted line to sacrifice the wiring out their filament? And mind you, winter's imminent.
What could you expect from those you've trained to know they're only worth donations they can make to those a half a world away who daily ride the NATO's throes on top of years of Nazi occupation? We're so used to being bled, so what's another leech or 10? 'Cause once your blood is not your own, it matters not the destination. Be it on the altar stone of capital or in the river. Be it in the streets 'cause the police saw you were moments from committing free speech and so justice was delivered. Or be it in a glass for Bill Clinton so he lives to see another winter. This is cattle syndrome if you need a raw descriptor. It's passive pasture victims slurping CIA scriptures out the cistern. They only change the water every midterm. Democratic progress via inchworm, tethered to a trig while Harris breaks it down to kid terms. Watch me lock a full body cringe like a pinched nerve, and watch me try to stop the clip fist first. Watch me spend a half an hour staring out the window till the first verse, fifth verse, and all that's in the middle hits my fingers with a ripple on the Richter. Who block out all the bombs along with native whispers. That drift along the wind with familiar whistle, or plummet from the sky like hellfire missiles. The sun observes it all, the leaves that fall on thistle, the truth that's underneath the skin betwixt the gristle, the truth that leaves your lips and brings your swift dismissal. The sun withholds his speech. It seems the only words he knows are those that sow division. The sun can see the truth as from the windows of a prison. The sun can see the dawn before it's even risen. The sun can see it all, though he may wish he didn't. And that's the eyes of the sun.
Yes, it is. You don't. How do you fucking do that? Okay.
It's touch and go sometimes, as that piece proves.
Well,
I think I threw a couple extra consonants in just because you guys deserve extra, you know? You deserve a little more, so...
I think I missed...
We're picking up a few of those words for you.
I think for the first time, I actually caught a missed line, and I'm not even going to say what it was.
I did too right afterwards, and then what do? I'm like, I'm too late. We missed that curve. We're going. It's a one-way street. We're just going to keep on trucking.
So the reason why I say you're a son of a bitch and how do you do this is because I literally spent the last week with my dad. And my dad's a Zionist. And it's been an interesting week to say the least. And some of the conversations we were having, which were kind of mirrored in a way in the way that this was reflected in these kind of conversations, which was how can you not see? And yeah, it just and the conversation continues is I guess amazing. Wow. Yeah, so that was from and then this and literally put out this March, right?
Yep.
Effectively written about Ukraine, sorta.
Yeah. Yep.
But it really could just be the next thing continued, like you said. I mean,
exactly. Yeah. If I said, look what Hamas did, then I could really. It doesn't take much to swap that over. Like that's in the same way that Times Square just has to push the Ukraine flag out and say stand with Israel. And people go, oh, Israel.
By the way, did you see that right underneath it was the advertisement for the movie coming out this weekend, The Trolls? My kids are very excited. So yeah, it was a hell of a week. I needed to get back here to some sanity and to this family that I was over. I was able to connect through Twitter, and thank goodness for Twitter, and thank goodness, honestly, for Spotify and for being able to listen to and channel some rage through your stuff and listen through Bandcamp, because I needed to spit fire at times this week, and there was no one else to listen, so I just went outside and would throw that on and put it on my headset.
You really segued me really well. If you want to pop up the spoken word piece I dropped in today into the folder.
All right, let me go get the folder.
This is a short piece I wrote
the day after Better the Censored, um, that was just kind of a continuation of that, not even disbelief, that just kind of disheartened feeling of watching everyone else perceiving events so differently, and feeling so alone. And thankfully, I know I'm not, because I now have such a massive network of people. But it's luckily people who all understand that feeling, because at the end of the day, in work settings, home settings, wherever, just in public, listening to the radio, watching TV, once it's such an alienating feeling. Because sometimes it feels like you're the only one who's seeing the same thing. And this piece kind of came out of that. It's very brief, but
Yeah, hang on, I'm getting it up right now. I've got it
yeah,
here.
no worries.
So again, exactly. How do you? It was exactly the conversation that was happening this weekend, which was or the last week, which was, like he feels bad for me that I can't be happy because no matter where I look, I see the corruption and the problems and exactly how it's being hamstrung and being bastardized and prevented from actually being successful while being touted as the next best thing and gaslighting us into feeling so. And how do you not feel like you've been gaslit into oblivion? And the answer was basically just sit back and kind of enjoy it and fuck all. And I'm like, well, how knowing that they're all fucked out there and pointing to everybody else without even knowing it, and I got kids, how the hell am I supposed to sit here and just enjoy life? Like, I love you, man. And he's like, look, man, I'm more than 80 years old, and I want to enjoy, like, and I get it, and I feel you, and you made it, and you struggled, but you're not where I am, and this isn't your fight. I get it, but I gotta fight, and that's what I gotta do. And it was just tension and stressful, but you know, at the same time, everyone trying to have fun and enjoy ourselves around the kids and enjoy each other in spite of all of that. Look, we don't know in the end how much time we all have together left. I get he's over 80, and I'm grateful for whatever time I have, even though you know it's complicated. Let's put it that way. Complicated is the good. I very much understand and kind of feel for Max Blumenthal is what I can say. I have a lot of of heart and so much deep respect for what he does and how much he has to challenge his own family in the way that I do, and he does it even more publicly in his own name. And man, God, I love and respect that guy so much. Support independent media, support the Gray Zone, support Max. Even when I disagree with him, you know, I know the bravery that he puts out there, and it's admirable as fuck. So that's a little story about me this week. All right, so now I've got this piece up, and I am ready to bring it on for you.
Yeah. All right. This is called Haunting. Somebody said democracy, and all I heard were screams. Echoes of civilians being wrenched out of their dreams. To see their families torn apart, their lives so much debris, and no one seemed to hear the sound but me. Somebody said America, and I began to choke. So many words all bottlenecked at once within my throat, like everyone is lining up to go get out the vote, and I'm the only one who sees the smoke. Somebody shouted terrorists and cursed a foreign land, but all I saw were all the graves we made in foreign sand, like someone's pulling strings that tell us what for which we stand, and I'm the only one who sees their hands. Somebody mentioned freedom, but I wish they never spoke. I cannot break their spell no more than I can break my own. My curse to walk this sleeping world, its palaces of bones, and be the only one who sees the ghosts. They cannot see the rubble for the bodies trapped beneath. They cannot see this country for the veterans on its streets. They can't acknowledge genocide at home or in the East because it really doesn't faze them in the least. Some will say extremist,
when you advocate for peace. Some will call you fascist for condemning World War III. If democracy is dying, I for one say let it bleed. Feels like none would see the body save for me. And that's haunting.
I love the way that it sounds at the end, and that's haunting.
See what I did there?
I see what you did there. I see. Ghost Star, thanks for checking us out on the Rumble. Appreciate that. Rumble.com/C/Indie News Network. You can go check us out over there. We don't get censored over there, and they don't censor our links like they did to me this week, which is funny over at YouTube. Oh well. Alas, that's what happened again this time. So, yes, stop Hamas time. Oh my God. Come on, Mastermind.
Oh.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah.
You know, just I don't know if I've ever talked about MC Hammer on this show before. My brother and I went to Goodwill once, and at the same trip that I got the most hideous, awesome trench coat imaginable, I picked up Please Hammer, Don't Hurt 'Em on cassette. And the track listing vacillates really sharply between super religious and super horny. And it's so funny because literally there's like Pray is one of the songs, followed by Soft and Wet.
You got to pray just to make it today. Oh, wait, we pray. Oh, yeah, we pray.
After Soft and Wet comes a song called For the Children.
Oh, my Lord. Oh, yeah.
Then after
brother
For the
had
Children,
this album.
Then is the song Let's Go Deeper. So
Yes.
He really is like, we got that out of the way, and now we're back to MC Horny. Now we're back to like,
no,
really
we're back down to we're back to MC Epstein now. It sounds like Jesus Christ.
One of my favorite lines of any song ever. He sampled and reinterpolated Have You Seen Her? And there's a line he says, just super serious, like he's trying to put so much R&B feeling into it. He goes, late at night, I'm chilling alone, and I sink into the world of the Cosby Show. And he just says it's like this is the best line. He delivers it as well as you could deliver that line and really try to sell it. Like it's just one of those that we ran back a dozen times. We're like, hang on, did you say I sink into the world of the Cosby Show? Like, A, how baked are you? And B, of all the things, I mean, it's not like a rhyme that needed to happen. It's like this line meant something to him. He chose this for a reason. So I think about that a lot. I think about that line a lot.
They were sold as a prototypical like American dream made it kind of family. So I could get it. Wow.
Yep. Sink into the world of the Cosby Show.
Oh, that's really funny. You have not, well, and I think it might be because of, you were sick or your voice and guitar at the same time. Redpilled was my thought. On key, I know it takes a lot, and we'd probably have to do that early if we want to do Redpilled.
Oh no, you want Redpilled? You know what? We haven't done that in a long time.
We haven't done Redpilled in a long time, and I honestly, I want to do a new theme song. And
fantastic.
And
Let's
man,
do it.
And that's another one. Because literally, I get to the end of a 4-minute track, and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? But more importantly, watching TV and watching corporate shit with my family all week and losing my fucking mind as they're watching the news. And we watched an entire half-an-hour news show where they didn't talk once about a massive protests around the country, but spent 5 minutes talking about a vigil that was held at the local synagogue for one of the kidnapped girls, and it's terrible. We want everyone home. Man. Oh, dude. How many times did I just loop this in my fucking head all week? Ah, thank you.
Let's do it. This is Redpilled.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines. I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way, 'cause I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? So I try to sit down with my wife and watch TV, but I just see propaganda elevating the police in the simplest of sitcom banter. The tiny little altars full of offerings to corporate masters. Every well-planned wide pan shot of the name brand stocking up the pantry. Pull back one long tracking shot out to the garage to the logo on the Camry. Nice tight shot of the Camry. Close-up view of the Camry, slow pan up on the Camry, long slow zoom to the unmoving human who's up in the front with a tube pumping fumes to him straight from the back of the Camry. Ashamed he just could not provide for himself, let alone for his family. It's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines. Couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. And I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. Ignorance is bliss, which explains why a lot of us are so fucking happy. Quick to take the trip for all its trappings. Never one to ask what's up, what's going on, or God forbid what's happening. A lot of us would strap into the ride and spit right in the eye of the guy whose job it is to snap your fastening. See, maybe we're all born with that capacity. Maybe each of us comes standard with humor, compassion, malice, and audacity. Some of us are blind to the system, but some see it fine and say this is how it has to be. Some of us can stare wide-eyed at a nationwide human catastrophe and only offer platitudes and recipes. And God, I wish that I could tell myself nothing's worth obsessing past my everyday necessities. I wish that I could cry fake news over anything that threatened me, tune out our abuses and consume a little levity. Wish that I could offer up my son a smoother destiny. I wish I had some better lessons for how best to answer questions for the things I've been perpetually questioning. But I'm too busy looking at our leaders, wondering what I might be missing from their messaging. I'm trying to find the reasoning to let 250,000 people meet an early reckoning. And even though I know the truth, it's hard to swallow something that's so literally sickening. Hope is ever dwindling, COVID ever beckoning. Winter slows your breathing, but your pulse is ever quickening. Even though I know the truth, it's hard to keep listening. I'm done with my epiphany. My innocence is blistering. I'd like to think I'd taste the earth before I'd ever kiss the ring. Hard to speak the truth and harder still to keep listening. Sometimes I think I miss being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines. Couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. And that's Redpilled.
Delicious, dude. Fucking amazing. Love it, love it, love it. Can't love it more. That was fire. That was hot. I love it. Yes, we have update for the outro theme song. I can do some new credits. And yes, sniffles, totally. Yes, you got me again, damn it. Zacharoni Pizza, good to see you, sir. My friend Zach from over on the Substacks. Go sign up for zaccharonipizza.substack.com. He's a good dude. ZACHARONI. Yeah, man, Redpilled is my anthem right here, because this is like, I wish I was still in 2020 or 2019 when I did not know what I know, but I also am glad I am not where I am, and I know who I know and what I know, but man, it felt simpler then in a way. At least there was some hope. I kind of feel like more than there is now, unfortunately, and that's now I'm disembodied. See it here. Now you got me. Now I'm back. Okay. So but at least now we have people to enjoy the crap together with, I guess, is the whole thing. I traded one for the other, so and thank God for all you guys, seriously. So we're only 4 in. So what else you want to play, man? It's Dealer's Choice Part 2. So
let's jump over to War Crime Jams to Pork 2.
Nice. My favorite album name. Turn off the music. Don't do turn off the music. We've done Love Your Prison Over. We could do Redacted. I haven't heard Life in the Red.
No, I've never played Home. This, admittedly, I rushed the shit out of this song. I was like, one of those harmonies is a little wonky, but I was like, I wanted to put out the album on 9/11. And everything was so close, and I just wasn't going to have another opportunity to redo the vocals. And so I was like, all right, let's just fucking, if it fits, it ships, we'll do it live. And and now that song haunts me because I hear that harmony and how easy that would have been to fix, and I didn't, and I learned a very valuable, painful lesson from that. And in fact, the lyrics I'm looking at on Bandcamp are not 100% of what ended up getting recorded, but close enough. I wanted the song to get a redemption arc. So
that's awesome. Okay. Well, you should almost put out a V2 over on Bandcamp.
Right there you go,
dude. We have catalog here, seriously, of stuff that unreleased. So just think about that.
Let you leave, send you home. Wait, please say you know that what you need is what you owe, and they won't let you go. Set you free, send you home. Oh, I was close enough to smell the fire. Jesus took the wheel and then he kicked me off the ride. I was busy shouting at myself from in the crowd, about to throw down and drag myself outside. I had to give myself the business. If I show myself forgiveness, it goes right between the eyes. Was looking past my shoulder, never focused on the prize. I saw myself, turned and ran, stalked myself through burning sands, the better part of 40 nights. Found myself staring in the mirror, yelling, go into the light. I was in the rear view, staring at the highway, horrified. I was in the road ahead, arms wide, ready to be mummified. Gonna be the fella yelling how he's sick of always betting on his life. I'll also be the guy that brought the dice. Got half a dozen chambers and I keep an empty 5. Only needed one to break the ice. Only needed one to clear my mind. Only needed one to stop time. Only needed one to stop time. They won't let you go, set you free, send you home. When you say you know what you need is what you own, and they won't let you go, set you free, send you home. 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 I'll be the guy that brought the dice.
And that's home. What you wrote.
And that is home. Oh. Nice. That's pretty. I like the tune on that one.
Have we done Ugly Fucking Christmas in a while? I feel like we haven't.
No, and it's that
Christmas season. It's the holiday season.
It's exactly like it's like too early to see that shit. And it's out.
But it's here.
It's everything. You can't get away from it. Red cups and shit. So yeah, so Ugly Fucking Christmas. That's also on War Crime Chamber or no?
Inauguration gift.
Okay, gotcha. We're gonna go back. I like having this other look, being able to put the lyrics up for everybody. I think that's pretty cool. I think everyone get more out. I know Misty always says she loves seeing when the words go up on screen. She can follow along. So, Ugly Fucking Christmas. Here we go. Man.
One man's silent auction is another's trial, in a system designed to see you suicidal. And funny, we don't hear a peep out of Kendrick Bay or Jay-Z. We just see a lot of silent idols with their heads up their asses like the fascists made them hide somewhere parallel to Pylon Idol, like they let us off the lead. But you know that in your heart you will always taste the bridle. Now I am not JPEG Mafia or honorary PNG Yakuza. Label owns your masters and your masters want their profits up. So they say you can't diss Biden, you have to stay silent. So shut your fucking mouth and watch me cough it up. I'll kill it, then I'll bury it. I'll piss right on the grave. Shit, I'll maybe dig the coffin up. They want you and me softened up. That's why they try crying unity. Preach it to my face and watch me catch a case faster than we should have ended qualified immunity. You can hide from the truth, but I'll pull you out and school you, honey. You can call it truancy. Ash as far as you can see, out across the ruins. Let it sink in till it ruins all your dopamine. I take my haze a wider shade of aubergine. My words are just the go-between for all this fucking acid and out-of-date famotidine. So say my piece, drop the mic, bleed out all my chromosomes and blow the scene. And I will not be coming back, so love us or leave us or mislead us to Iraq. I am violence over science, if your faith over facts. We're all up for auction, honey, we cannot relax. We coronated Biden and I didn't cut a track. I just stared into the ether, hearing everyone react. Hearing that collective sigh of liberal satisfaction, cause you all went fucking batshit for a bigot geriatric who magically regains his faculties to slap your daughter's ass, and even though she's 8, you let it happen. Just like all these fucking garbage politicians serve their kids up on a platter during photo ops designed to let them leech a little power and significance directly from the head slave master, the author of imprisonment, who partnered with the sentencer of innocence, telling you they're here to heal the soul of old America. And clearly that's just code for we are here to watch you starve and serve our bigot benefactors. So cue the canned Kamala laughter, comma distractor, comma less schools, more jails, more fracking, more wars, comma blood dollars, comma Kamala laughing. Fuck it, honey, more reactors. Biden says build back better, but the man learned better from the likes of those who stood for Jim Crow by the letter. So you cannot convince me that a man who spent a lifetime swallowing the sermons of a guy like Strom Thurmond ends up anything but Kissinger with Mr. Rogers' sweater. So I'm out the party, and I won't be coming back. Let them love us or leave us or mislead us to Iraq. Let Kamala deceive us with some sneakers and a laugh. They will not address the other half. If they acknowledge our predicament, they have to say why they dismissed us. And nobody in Congress has the guts to look the nation in the face and explain how they let us waste away to afford all the comforts they need to maintain all their opulence and stingy, inhumane existence. So it's gotta be an ugly fucking Christmas. We will not be coming back. Love us or leave us or mislead us to Iraq. I'm violence over science, if your faith over facts. We're all up for auction, buddy, we cannot relax. We will not be coming back, let them love us or leave us or mislead us to Iraq. I'm violence over science, if your faith over facts. We're all up for auction, Biden, we will not relax. And that's ugly fucking Christmas.
You know, I kept hearing love us or leave us or mislead us to Iraq. Love me or leave me or mislead me to Crete.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like, I kept hearing the squad are not your buddies. They're just simply more discreet. It's the same cadence. It's like a part 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's what, that's like 3 tracks after that. So yeah, that was a little.
Republicans will kill you to your face. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. The squad are not your buddies. They're just simply more discreet. Anyone can put the nation's ills and put it in a tweet.
Oh shit! All right. No, you know we got to do it. Now that you said that, I got to do
it. See, like a year ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. So, you know,
we got to do karaoke night now.
Our shows are so much better because I actually know the music.
Fate demanded I be singer of a new ballad about the candidate you wanted like a finger in your fruit salad, but were made to choke down Never mind, he didn't have supporters on the ground. Never mind a website that gave volunteers the runaround and a platform of policies that followed Biden's lead and didn't make a fucking sound. And then he takes the crown. Now that's a mess. Now that's ascension into power by immaculate election. Cause no one really wanted it and no one should have trusted it. But don't you try to question it, cause Joe is not a fan of questions. But Joe's a fan of pointing fingers right in people's faces. Or if they're not in public spaces, Joe will try to point a finger everywhere I won't mention. Cause Joe's soul is molded and beholden more to power than the list of fucking speakers at the DNC convention, who gave us all a show of keeping AOC at bay, just so everyone can say they tried to censor her dissension. But if you still believe that the progressives we've elected give a shit if we're protected, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you in a parallel dimension. You know they're just tech savvier with media relations, propagandist Instagram and public obfuscation. They're better suited to assure you that they're here to have a conversation. Better suited to assure you they aren't actively supporting your eviction and your slide into starvation. Better suited to assure you they can tweet about your needs and offer hope and motivation while you drift into the weeds. But they partnered with the moccasins and gators and the reeds. And they will damn sure get a portion of our meat. So, love me or leave me or mislead me to decree. Honey, you won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. See, anyone can recognize our nation's needs and put it in a tweet. But coming from a leader in a seat of power really shows they know they're obsolete. Now the squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. That's hashtag squad goals. Still muted, Andy. Still muted.
Oh boy, yeah. So yes, we had squad goals at that point. Thank you.
We did. Some of us, yep. I got so much backlash when I first put that song out because so many people were just like, excuse me, sir, those are our champions. And now if I put that out, people are just like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Right? Fuck those guys, exactly right. But
good for everybody. Good on everybody for doing that. So.
Like, I saw someone recently saying we should make them do what dudes they wouldn't do it 3 years ago when they actually had the power and showed that they weren't going to do it. I'm not asking them to do shit now.
Forced to vote doesn't work for us.
Like,
that's not how it works.
Yeah, no. Okay. So we've taken a little bit of a trip back. We got some more current stuff. I know you, dude. Again, you've recorded so much newer music.
I have. It's true.
This year alone. So, I mean, Kings of Colony we've done a couple times already. Just the Better Days. I mean, that also. You know, it's so funny. I wanted to play that song for my wife, and it's just a little too brutal, and I think that she's a little too normie to really. It'll jar her a little hard, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
that one's made to break the normies.
You know, at least that's what they taught you to say. It's just a little. I think that's that one and the. And you know the tased her.
Yeah, tased you till you felt like you forgot your name.
Well, that, but also your daughter. You know, the pepper sprayed her twice in the face. Like that one, I think is the one that's gonna get her and be like, yeah. I'm kind of out on this.
You know,
but hey, you know, it's the reality for too many.
Yeah, let's do
good.
it.
The guitar is so good on this. Oh, it's just
that's
beautiful.
a good one. It's hard.
I'm so used to doing that on the right-handed on my grandfather's guitar. Coming back to a left-handed and trying to do some of the same little things for that intro are not as easy. So,
Yeah, that's a single I wish got more play right now, but because of what's happening with Palestine and everything else, it's just kind of disappeared and into the.
Yep.
But you know what? I thought about this. You know, it's different with music. Sometimes it can be 6 months or a year before a song actually hits people and takes off. So and this is one of those things that's a little bit more evergreen, a little more timeless, I think. And again,
this is the next one I'm recording for the album. As soon as I have album version, I'm going to put that out as like a single or whatever, so I can like have something else like album version that I put out prior to the release. So yeah, I'm in the process of getting this one recorded, but yeah, why not?
What's the next big holiday that would be the major release date? Would that be like?
Well, you know, last time I did Christmas Eve was when I put out.
Everyone who disagrees with you is an extremist.
Yes, so think Christmas Day makes sense. I feel like I can have everything.
That's a hell of a Christmas present. I like that.
So that's what I'm shooting for.
I'll take it.
So yeah, here we go. This is Dust Better Days. SWAT team took your neighbor today. Watched him as they walked him away. You told yourself extremists come in all different shapes. Watched them as and lowered your gaze. But is it too late for us to ever change? Once we're collecting the dust of better days, they're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to be safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wait. Sheriff, stop your daughter today. Pepper sprayed her twice in the face. He must have had good reason if he'd treat her that way. At least that's what they taught you to say. Is it too late for us to ever change? Once we're collecting the dust of better days, they're always watching us, but we're never safe. We're not meant to feel safe, not meant to escape. We aren't meant to wake. Feds arrived and had you detained. Said you'd made some posts they want changed. Tased you till you felt like you'd forgotten your name, or life before they had you contained. Oh, life before they had you contained. SWAT team took your neighbor today. And that's a dust of better days.
Yeah, I love that one, man. That's got a killer melody. I do like it better with your grandfather's guitar, I have to say. That was fire.
Mm-hmm.
The other recording,
the tone of that other one is just like, yeah, there's something about it. So
yeah, and there was a grittiness to it when you played it. We have that. I have that cut as a single on the on the Jesse Jett playlist, and that is one that I've played quite often. And I've run it also before a few shows as like kind of intro music before a live stream. So yeah, that will be on the upcoming album, and I'm excited to hear that. This is the first time like there's going to be an upcoming album where I already know like some of the songs that are on it and know all the words to it, and it's like it's really cool. Like it's inside baseball stuff. I've never been involved in that. And it's very cool to get get the inside look. But yes, that's the better days, everyone. See, you know what also happened? It came out right around the time of the Lahaina piece. Yeah. So it kind of got lost also between the redoing American Desires, and then the piece about Lahaina, and this one just kind of got lost in the sauce. I feel like, even though I think it might have been one of the stronger pieces you've written in a while. And I think,
like you said, the nice thing is it's not specific to any event, So,
right.
This one will work as its own little standalone. And yeah, I feel like a really good one to kind of get people aware of what we've accepted as normal and what we've let slide and how far that slide has taken us without people noticing, and how quick we are to try to excuse it or justify it or say there must be a good reason, for this, and how desperate that sounds after a while.
Holy crap. The book, look, again, I'm going to go back to the conversations I had with my dad, because I feel like that's indicative and very emblematic of what's happening out in America, is that you've got a generation that is seeing what's happening, is upset about it. Another one that wants to kind of forget about it and just kind of wrap it up for them and keep that grift going for a little bit longer for them.
Yep.
And then fuck it, you guys deal with it afterwards. I'm out. And that's kind of in a way how I feel about it, but it's not all of it. It's also that they're clinging on to this idea of things about how they were or how they should be that just isn't. Like what Israel is supposed to be versus what it actually is and is doing now.
Yeah.
And it's the straight up denial or the deflection or the hasbara and the swallowing of that propaganda that is making such a difficult conversation. And it's happening within families. It's happening within communities.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that's happening is that the bullshit fucking fuck you corporate media is whipping up this nonsense manufactured frenzy about hatred against Jews when that's not what the problem is. That's not what the problem is. The problem is not hatred against Jews. It's fighting against Israel and what they are doing to the Palestinian people in ethnic cleansing and taking over this territory. And
I think it's worth mentioning too that it's not just using anti-Semitism or accusations of it as a shield. It's not just conflating Zionism with Judaism, which is anti-Semitic. I can't say that enough. That is anti-Semitic. That's what's fucking anti-Semitic.
Yep.
But the fact that it deflects and skews people's views of what anti-Semitism really is, because we not only run cover for, but are run by the biggest fucking anti-Semites in the world. Like we fund Nazism at every turn. We incorporated Nazism into this country as soon as it was available to us. So if anyone knows anything about anti-Semitism, it's the fucking United States. Like, we have absolutely trafficked in it before. So for us to accuse people of it to continue to further our means is just ludicrous. But
there was
it's
an
one of those things
argument.
I found myself just sputtering all the time, just making unintelligible, just what the fuck kind of sounds, because it's this barrage of Twilight Zone kind of fuckery. Like it's
when they get to the argument of, yeah, but look at what happened to the Native Americans here. Yes, exactly. But when they use it on the other side to say, this is how, well, they just got over it. Wait, they did? Wait, what? Again? Yes, they use that as the template for how they are treating right now the ethnic cleansing, where they continue to push them into smaller and smaller pieces of land, exterminate them further, isolate them further, so they dwindle in their numbers and eventually disappear. Well, they weren't disappearing fast enough, and this is the other argument that you're seeing, ethnic cleansing. They've grown from 1.5 to 2.3 million. How is that ethnic cleansing? Are you serious? Just turn on your fucking Twitter feed. Holy shit. And that all the people that are dying are civilians, just about. So, and I had this argument with a family member, which is, how are they still 5 weeks later still bombing and destroying and leveling the entire area, but yet they still haven't gotten Hamas? How? Right. But they're still doing this every day, but they still haven't.
Yep.
But and the answer is, I don't know. They could not, and they were could not understand what was happening and why. And I said, let me explain to you what's happening. That's not what this is about. This is about the gas fields that are underneath. This is about what they want to be, the Ben Gurion Strait. This is about the dream that's always been from the beginning, to take the entire territory. And the plan now is to push them out into the Sinai, to build tent cities, and then to build other cities, to then flip this over to Egypt and to forgive Egypt's debts to the world, to the IMF and the World Bank, in order to be able to make that happen. That's where it's going, and that's what they want to have happen. And I don't know if the world's going to let it happen or not. But to lay this out, and I sounded like a crazy conspiracy theorist to this family member. When I did not raise my voice, I was controlled just like that, and I was matter-of-factly.
No matter what you cite, dude, no matter how well exhausted your research is, no matter what you're pulling up as
it's all from crazy sources that are all anti-Jew. Again, the anti-Semitism is anti-Judaism, which it isn't, and that's you're
the conspiracy theorist.
The other argument, which is that the Palestinians are Semites too, so you got to come up with another word for this. You got to come up with another word to describe what you're feeling and what you're saying, because it doesn't track. It doesn't apply here. Not only that, but watch the Richard Medhurst debunking of like the 14 myths. Oh my God. Oh my God. It just doesn't stop. It keeps punching. If you are a Zionist, he will punch you in the face over and over and over. And he's done it in every language. He's clear and he's passionate, but he is direct. He's got facts, and he goes a little overboard, and he puts his opinion in there, which is also makes it hard, because he's showing his bias and his anger at how bad this has gotten. And look, I've been watching and a fan of this guy for more than 3 years, and I'm so proud of where he's gone. And I just mad props and love for Richie. He's just, dude's a leader, and they don't know what to do with him. He scares the shit out of that machine, because he speaks every language and he speaks clearly, and he has the answers to combat the bullshit, like, better than just about anybody I've ever heard. Really. It kind of bugs me, not bugs me, but he's British. Sometimes he wears a baseball, all the changing of the looks and everything. And when it suits him, he's wearing the souk. I know what it is. Yes, I will call it what it is because I've watched him enough to know what that it's. It's kiafe, but they call it in Palestine a souk. And I love him. I do. I love him to death. You know, but we have our things. But anyway, Saul. No, we're good. I love him. I love him. I do. Anyway, go follow him. Go support independent media. He's been demonetized just like we have been. That reminds me. Yes, before we go, I built a new scene. Where the hell is it? It's here. Hey, I got it. We brought it up. Okay. If you want to hook up INN, we certainly could use your help because we got demonetized on YouTube. We can't get super chats. You can hook us up on Rockfin, but the Ray token literally dropped by 20% in the last 2 days in value. The best way to do it is via Cash App, the last one. Cash App, $ Indie News Network. If you can do that, great. Thank you. We really appreciate it. If you can't, we understand. We're good. Anything to help us absorb our costs really helps. Rockfin.com/INN, Rumble, Substack. We could use Substack subscriptions. You can subscribe on Substack and it's free, but there is a way to monetize and support us there, as well as, of course, Patreon.com/Indie News Network. So you can hook us up all those different ways. And let me go back here to my man. All right. So for tonight, I think we're pretty good, right? I think we're toast.
We're set.
All right. Yes, all the music, like Cynic says here. Let me put this up. Pay with yes, of course, yes. Jesse also does have Cash App. But yeah, hook him up on there or on Bandcamp. Look, Cash App is the best way as far as I'm concerned until they shut that down. Like that's no fees and no anything. And I can have money in my bank literally the next day. So that is the best way to hook people up. Notice me, senpai. Yes, notice me, senpai.
Notice me, senpai. Notice me.
Yes, thank you, Colin, for reminding
Ready
me.
to go with that one.
That's Richie. Richie is a senpai. Richie is one of the guys that I put up there. He's an Indie Media Award honoree, of course, and he's great. And so tomorrow night we're gonna have INN News with Colin and Reef. They were working on their stories for tonight, so they've got all the thumbnails. The stream will be made tonight, and then on Thursday night we'll have. It didn't play. Nobody wants to work anymore, I guess. That was supposed to be Himbo saying that. And Friday we're gonna have Angel and Tara. Sunday, I think we're gonna have a How Do We Miss That? I've been taking some time and I kind of haven't been enjoying it. And there's just too much horror out there. Although there are several stories that I do want to cover. I'm gonna do a couple of them tomorrow night with we'll record them with Himbo, but we'll see. I love doing this show. I love doing Nobody Wants to Work Anymore. I'm a little, it's 3-4 shows, then cutting boats, doing clips. It's a lot. So this is much more chill. Every other week, and then the pre-records with Himbo. I kind of like that pace right now. But we're gonna work it out. We'll figure out what we're gonna do, and let everyone know. And by the way, we have a new social media coordinator over on Facebook and Instagram. Her name is Heidi. You all might know her over on Twitter, Heidi Benner. She's cool. She's been a fan and a friend to the network. And so we're talking, and she's like somebody doing that. She's even gonna look at Reddit once I can get her into that. So we're gonna head out for tonight. I know I do this. I do the Jewish goodbye. I say goodbye and I never leave. This is what we do, folks. All right, folks. And again, as Colin likes to say, because we have more people watching than at any time tonight. Go watch INN News tomorrow. And my new thing that I'm going to sign off saying is to support independent media, because there's it down there, and I truly believe it. Because we need more.
And I'm just
going
to go. Because I can.
Good night, everybody.
Who are these people? Indie News Network, collaborative family of independent content creators. Co-hosted normally by me, Indie. I'm founder and editor of Indie Left News and Indie Media Today. I got Reef Breland sitting next to me.
At Kennedy News.
Is Andrew Rivera on The Handsome Cynic?
Politics and Survival.
My name is Jesse Jett.
It's American Tradition.
What's up, Space Monkeys? Welcome to Political Fight Club. I'm Robert Durden.
I mostly make art for INN.
Big Man Crab Joe. Keep up those great videos.
Hey guys, it's Yeti. Coming at you.
Hello, my name is Lucy from Blue Moon Red Wine.
This is Chris Legion.
Keep fighting that good fight out there, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Who are these people?
This week has been good.